Hi everyone, this video is sponsored by Boohoo Man. There's no boo-hooing around here anymore because Newcastle have won a game. They're sponsoring us, and I've got to tell you, they've got a massive offer of 40% off. So if you need your Christmas shopping done, check the link in the description before. Grab a bargain. Newcastle Fans TV. Yes, hello everyone. First things first, we've won a game. We've won a game, Harry.
Unbelievable. 14 games in the making. Oh, you cannot describe that feeling.
It's December, we've won a game.
Yeah.
Look, it's been so long, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been absolutely too long. Brilliant though. Brilliant feeling. Not the prettiest of games, but no, brilliant.
It's just brilliant, that's all I was going to say.
That's all I'm going to say.
Our only 2 clean sheets this season have come against this lot in the Cup, where we went to penalties, and obviously tonight here at St James's Park. It's really cool. Look at winter's here, everybody, but we've finally got a win. This is the last word. Please go back and have a look at my match reaction. Have a look at Carl's fantastic graph that he's put in today on the watch long. Shout out Carl for that. Let's begin with the lineups. Harry, will begin with Newcastle. The big talking point was, would the captain come in? Would Jamal Lewis keep his place? Jamal Lewis came in. I'm actually happy that he did, but the captain, were your eyebrows raised? I think, did he deserve that?
Yeah, there were. Yeah, especially after Fernandez's performance against Norwich. I thought Fernandez deserved to come in. Obviously, he didn't start, but Lascelles, I wasn't a fan of him starting, but I thought he did well in the game, to be fair. He dealt with Chris Wood pretty well. Early on, there was a chance where Cornet fired wide. I thought he could have done better there. He could have either gone for the ball or covered well, but I thought, on the whole, Lascelles' performance was all right. But yeah, my eyebrows were raised when he was starting, yeah. Same,
because I think Fernandez deserved it. And we played 4 at the back. It was Schar, it was Manquillo, Willock and Shelvey in midfield. There was a question around where was Ryan Fraser, because it looks like he's probably picked up an injury. There's probably been talked about post-match stuff behind us. But then Miguel Miron's probably just a natural, probably more like for like, because Joe Linton, ESM and Wilson have been playing well of late. ESM's probably a little bit hit and miss than the other 2, but over the course of the season, ESM will deliver more than bad. The Burnley side, their big miss was Barnes, because if it's Barnes and Woods, you know what you're going to get. Yeah. You mentioned Maxwell Cornet there, because he's been scoring some cracking goals, hasn't he? When you looked at that, you know what you get with Burnley. It's 4-4-2, it's very direct.
Yeah, as you said, very direct, 4-4-2. Yeah, I had no comments. Obviously, you got to look out for McNeil and Cornet. They're the 2 kind of more talented players in Burnley's ranks. I thought Goodmanson was decent as well, but yeah.
Speaking of Goodmanson, he hit the post really early on. I looked at that and thought, oh Christ, that's not a good start, Newcastle. How were you worried when he hit the outside of the post?
Yeah, I was. They had a couple of early chances as well, didn't they? Had that one with Cornet. McNeil whipped into Cornet as well. Dubravka was making a couple of early saves. I was concerned though, because we weren't really in the game at the start at all.
Yeah, look, when you look at the fixture, you think Newcastle Burnley is not going to be a classic, because we've been so used to defensive football for the last 5-6 years since we've come up from the Championship. But you know, we're starting to have a lot of possession. There was a couple of chances outside the box that went over, but talk to me about that goal, because I think he takes it incredibly well, Callum Wilson.
Yeah, no, I was thinking this at the time. Obviously, Pope drops the ball and Schar finds Wilson, takes a couple of touches, and there's 3 Burnley players on the line.
When he goes around the goalkeeper, I'm thinking, he's not putting that in. Yeah. I thought he was cutting it back. It might rebound, but hey, that's a hell of a finish. Yeah, he could try and go for a penalty, or he could try and look for someone else. But yeah, incredible finish. As I was going to say, you have one-on-ones harder than that. There's three players on the line, and he's picked a gap and found the roof of the net in between all of them. Oh, it's a great finish. I cannot speak highly enough of that. 6 goals from 11 appearances. That's a similar ratio to Cristiano Ronaldo. That Callum Wilson's banging in them goals, but it went to a VAR check. I'm not sure why though. Obviously, when I go home and watch this video, I'll already know, because I would have seen the highlights. But I think it's just because Nick Pope was complaining that he got fouled. He didn't get fouled, it just dropped out of his hands, but he should have been stronger on the ball. So we ended it in the first half 1-0 up, and obviously the key thing was Maxwell Cornet going off injured, I felt, because he's something different. You know what, as I say with Harry, 4-4-2, direct. You know what you get. And Maxwell Corney came in, big signing, 50 million, plays on the left flank, but he was playing up top. I think the injury to him probably helped Newcastle. I'm not going to lie. Was it the whole decision today? No, but it definitely helped her. But going into the second half, what did you expect? Us to take our foot off the gas, sit back?
No, I thought we would look for the second goal, which is probably what did happen. Eddie Howe's not like that. Very much from what
because we're so used to Bruce and even Rafa.
Yeah. To be fair, they would kind of sit back and let Burnley come onto us and counter attack. But no, Eddie Howe's very much, I think, in the mould of once you got a lead, make it count and go and look for the second, and then maybe sit back. But you need to get a 2-goal lead, it's killer. But unfortunately, we couldn't find it, could we?
No, we had a couple of Almiron had a couple that deflected one that was going. I was like diagonally looking at it and it deflected and just went. That was going in. That was going in.
Forced Pope into a good save as well, Almiron, when Wilson slipped him through early in the second half as well.
Yeah, but we were creating chances. We couldn't get that second goal, and as the game went longer and longer, we're getting more and more twitchy bum and all this. We're getting nervous because they started to go direct the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it made
Rodriguez on as well. They had 3 up top. It was
well, Howe responded by chucking on Fernandez, and we all felt, me and Harry felt like he should have started. Can we? Were you nervous that? Because I was.
Oh, I was very nervous. There were a couple of times where I thought Dubravka had to come and claim the ball, and he just didn't. And the ball, there were dangerous balls where it's in that corridor of uncertainty where it just flies right through. They were bringing the centre backs up as well. Tarkovsky and Collins are coming up. It looked dangerous, and because we hadn't scored that second goal, I was really kind of threatened by Burnley scoring a late equaliser. Yeah, it was squeaky bum time, definitely. It
was, but we got there, people. We got there. I've put the video up a little bit earlier on with the celebrations around. It's only about a minute long, but you can see it now. If you want to see hear the sound of it, go back and have a look at the video. I mean, everybody's singing, and if it doesn't feel like a party atmosphere around here because we've won a game.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Everyone's so elated because we're used to our rubbish performances from earlier on in the season and the rubbish results. The fact we haven't won in 14 games, this win's just going to give the squad, the players and all those fans a lift. It just feels incredible.
I wanted to, just before we hear from Eddie Howe, I want to not a negative because we went down to 10 men against Norwich. Were you thinking Kieran Clark sent off? It is a good point with 80 minutes to play, but do you think we should have won that game? And then you're thinking, if we don't win this, we're going down?
Yes. Well,
look at it in hindsight, we've got 4 points considering we played with 10 men with 8 minutes, and we picked up a win against our rivals today, and we're level on points with them. It's been an okay week, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been okay when you consider the sending off. If Clark doesn't do that, we need to win that game. And coming on to what you were saying before, I think, although when you have 10 men and they're going to... Norwich, I didn't think Norwich were great. I think we could have won that. That goal was avoidable.
It didn't look like we had 10 men, did it?
No, and although they had a lot of possession, they didn't use it effectively, in my opinion. They could have used it better. And I think that goal was unavoidable. Dubravka should have done better. So I think there is a certain element where we maybe lack a bit of composure to hold out a game, which is why it's so crucial that we should have gone on to get the second. But hey-ho, we held it. We got 3 points, and it's a decent week. We needed 6 points. We've got 4, but the confidence. I think the confidence is key, and I think King Power's a big game as well. I want to come away from that with at least something, just because obviously we got Liverpool, Man City, Man United after that. It's a big Christmas fixture list, so we need to try and get something from Leicester, Everton and Southampton really in that period. It's crucial.
Yeah, I would agree. Considering the circumstances, it's been a good week for Newcastle. But we'll talk about those fixtures, what Harry said, but let's hear what Eddie Howe had to say picking up his first win.
Fantastic feeling. I hope there's many more to come. Delighted for everybody connected with the club. It's not about me, it's about the supporters and everyone that comes week on week, and we're just delighted to give them what they deserve really, because their support for me has just been incredible, and wanted to repay them with what we need to do, and delighted with the players as well. What a response under pressure. I thought they were excellent today.
Fantastic, eh? Everyone's absolutely out of the moon. That was Eddie Howe. So Newcastle have got the win. We'll bring up the league table. It looks a lot more healthier. Of course, we're still keeping an eye on Watford. Of course, I think that's the team to target for me. I think Leeds will pull away. I think it's the bottom 4, I think, personally for me. But Harry, you talked about those 4 fixtures before we heard from Eddie Howe. Those are tough. Leicester, we've got Liverpool, we've got the 2 Manchester clubs. I said in the WhatsApp yesterday I'll take 2 points. Is that realistic?
Yeah, I would say so, because obviously 2 of them, the Manchester clubs, are home games, so you'd like to think with the crowd we can try and pick up a point from them, maybe a point from Leicester away, because obviously Leicester are a talented team, but they haven't been performing to the heights this season.
Battered them last season 4-1.
Yeah, was it 4-1?
Yeah, because we went 4-0 up, remember, away from home.
Yeah, yeah, so I think we need to try and aim for a point minimum.
Was it 4-2? I can't remember.
I think it might have been 4-3 in the end, because the side coming back.
I just remember being 4-0 up. I think I wish I was there.
Yeah, same. No, so yeah, 2 points from them. Really, I think you can't ask for much more unless we get a fluky win like we might have done under Bruce last year, you know. But the expectations aren't high because they're difficult fixtures in a short period of time. I think there's 3 weeks in between them, four games. The expectations aren't high. Yeah, with 2 or 3 points will be fine.
And you talk about, just before we wrap up here on the last word, and if we just pause, have you smashed that like yet? How are we won a game of football, man? Come on. Thank you. Smash that like. Thank you. Confidence. Eddie Howe came in. We've seen certain players, in particular, I think Joe Litton's probably one of the bigger ones who's performing well. There's a few players who, has anybody stood out in, not just today, since you've been watching since Eddie Howe's come in, who's thought, yeah, different manager, different player?
Yeah, obviously you mentioned Joe Linton there. I think Shelby as well. They've both been incredible. Well, not for the whole of the time, but they both had incredible turnarounds, and you can see they're working a lot harder. They're doing a lot more running. I think over the last 2 games, Jamal Lewis has looked way better defensively than he ever has. I think he hasn't been brilliant.
So you want to go forward now? I know you mentioned those took them 4 games coming up. Do you go with him?
Yeah, I would. I would have liked to see that anyway. But especially with the way he's performed, I think you have to. Richie's not a left back in a back 4. Paul Dummett's not fit, so you have to go with Lewis. Now you can see he's growing in confidence a bit more. You've got to stick with him, otherwise he'll just drop. His confidence will drop back off, and you got to stick with him. I'd like to see him a bit better going forward. Maybe not in the next 4 games because they're obviously difficult challenges. Because every time he tries to go forward, he turns back. But no, I've been really impressed with him as well in particular.
So that was the last word, and once again we are proudly sponsored by Boohoo Man. They have a whopping 40% off all of menswear. So if you need a bargain for Christmas, check the link in the description. Thank you very much for sponsoring us, Boohoo Man. See you later, everyone. What a game!